to last year in 10 years is an incredible increase in the number of students taking these advanced level courses. But the girls then came and said, we don't want to be left out. So we have something that we've called the United Minority Girls Program, and that starts in their junior year. And what we found was they were actually well represented and successful in intensified and AP courses. What their concerns were was going to college. Many of them are first generation students going to college, and they didn't know how the process worked. So what we focus on with them in the 11th grade and 12th grade is getting ready for the SAT, doing some college visits, and then their senior year taking the SAT, writing applications, doing scholarship applications, and helping them work through that process. And then we've got a number of other programs that we have reflecting the diversity of our student body. We have Latinas Leading Tomorrow and Latinas en Acción, which are Hispanic students and developing leadership skills for them and introducing them to Latino leaders in the Arlington community. We also have College Summit for students to help them. All students are open to take College Summit, and that's a class that they take, and it's, again, doing research for college, helping them with the applications, helping them with financial aid, the FAFSA. I have a doctorate and don't understand the FAFSA, so any help that we can provide them is great. What we started this year, an interesting program, is we looked at our 9th graders coming in. Well, we looked at all of our students. We're happy with our SOL scores. We've still got work to do. But we were more concerned when we began looking at end of course grades. And then we focused on our 9th graders. And we said, what are we doing? Looking at we have this house program, the foundation program, that's designed to help 9th graders be more successful. Is that working? And we looked at their end of course grades. And the number of students getting D's and E's, we don't give F's in Arlington, we give E's. The number of students getting D's and E's in 9th grade was still significant. And it was over 40% of them had at least one D or E. So we took that a little bit further and we said, well, how many have 3 or more D's or E's? And that was about 20%. We said, well, is this a new phenomenon or where did this happen earlier? We went back to pull their 8th grade grades. 80% of them had 3 or more D's or E's in 8th grade. So we said, we've got to catch these kids early because in 2 years of data, there's 80% of those students continue that pattern. So we've got to change that. So we've begun a program this year of having those students stay an extra hour and 15 minutes after school 2 days a week, but in a positive thing. We've given them pizza, we have mentors, upper class students, and some fun activities, but at the same time, do you need help on homework? Do you need study skills? Do you need some help with research in the library? So it's trying to make the transition successful for them, and we wanted to start right away so that they begin experiencing success right away and not wait till first quarter, second quarter where they get the D's or E's and they begin the pattern's going to continue. Some of our strengths and some of our accomplishments, some of them I've already mentioned, but we're very proud of the fact that the Region 4 Teacher of the Year is a Wakefield teacher. Virginia is divided into 8 regions, so there are 8 Region Teachers of the Year. Colette Fraley is a social studies teacher at Wakefield, and she is representing Region 4, which is Northern Virginia area. We go down to Richmond in October to find out if she's the Teacher of the Year for the state of Virginia. In my opinion, she's very deserving of it. She's an absolutely phenomenal teacher. We feel that our community really reflects a commitment to helping all kids be successful. We feel that the staff believes in our children. We believe that our community does. We believe that our parents do. And that's an important element. When people come into Wakefield, like, it just feels different here. There's a warm feel. The kids like being there. The students like being there. The faculty likes being there. In fact, this past year, we only had 4 new teachers at Wakefield. And one was a brand new teacher adding in a position, and one was replacing a teacher who became an assistant principal. So it wasn't people leaving the building because they wanted to. And I think that says a lot. And that continuity is important. As I said, we are a diverse school. And we think that's one of our strengths. But it's not just the diversity. Because there are some diverse schools that I've been in, and all the Hispanic kids in the cafeteria over here, the white kids here, the black kids here. If you come to lunch at Wakefield, you won't see a table of a single anything. And they all are mixing and interacting with each other. Just some examples. 2 years ago, the president and vice president of our African club were two young ladies. One was from Ukraine and the other was from Poland. Last year I went to our Asian club. They had a dinner, and they had all kinds of food representing Asia. They had spaghetti, pupusas, and merengue was playing on the radio. That's our Asian club. And that's just Wakefield. So that's what we really like. Our SOL results, we're happy with those. We did not make AYP last year, adequate yearly progress under No Child Left Behind. Wakefield is required to meet all 29 categories. If you have 50 students or more in each of all the subcategories of race, ethnicity, and socioeconomic status, you've got to meet a standard set by No Child Left Behind. Wakefield has to meet all 29. We met 27 of the 29 categories. We have made AYP for the past 5 years, so we are doing some investigation of what do we need to do to make sure we make AYP next year. We are proud of the fact, too, when we look at our SOL scores, we have not totally eliminated the achievement gap, but it is closed significantly, and in fact, in a couple areas we have a reverse achievement gap. So those are some things we're looking at. And then one last thing of what we're really proud of. Last year, the Wakefield Alumni Foundation, the alumni have come together to set up a scholarship fund. They gave their millionth dollar last year, and they gave over 13 scholarships to students who graduated from Wakefield last year. And some of the challenges that I think that we face, and it's where we can maybe work together on, is first looking at our SOL scores and adequate yearly progress and No Child Left Behind. What do we need to do to make sure that every child is being successful, both as we measure them by their end of course grades and the SOL exams here in Virginia? Making sure that our students are career and college ready. We think that Senior Project is one avenue for that, but we'd also like to work together. And it's working with the business community and organizations like the Rotary Club that can share real life experience about what it is that is expected in the real world of work. And we also need to look at how we are educating and what kind of education we are providing and opportunities we're providing to what I call non-traditional students. We have a number of students that are English language learners that come into Wakefield 14, 15, 16 years old and have very limited or no English language skills. In reality, they are not going to get the English language skills that they need to take the courses that they need to graduate in 4 years. And so we've got to do a better job at that. We've worked as a school system looking at it. Too many of those students are dropping out. And so we've got to, the superintendent and I have already begun talking about looking at flexibility and creativity in our scheduling and the programs that we're offering, so that these students can continue to earn their high school or work towards their high school diploma. We also have a number of students who are in special education, and they need more than 4 years. And we need to be able to say it's okay to do it in 5 years. That's not a problem. But let's have that structure better in place for them so that they can complete their high school thing. And then looking at some of our students, this is kind of a sensitive area. It's looking at our students who are undocumented. College is not a viable option for many of them. In Virginia, they have to pay. If they cannot prove legal residency in the state of Virginia, they have to pay out-of-state tuition. It's too prohibitive. They can't afford it. And so it's trying to work with those students to provide options for them so that they don't drop out. because they do get discouraged and they do say, why graduate? I can't go to college and I can't pursue my dreams. And I know there are statistics and it is controversial, but they're faces to me. So that's some of the things that I think we need to be working on.
Thank you for this. Do we have questions? We've got time for maybe a couple of quick ones.
I'm the scholarship coordinator for Wakefield for the Rotary Club, so I would just want a couple minutes of your time after,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Others?
Yeah, just one, not a question, but Chris, anything that we can do as a Rotary Club, not just from Pentagon City, but for all the Rotary Clubs within Arlington, I'd like to, at some point in time, I know you're busy, sit down with you, figure out where you think we fit, and then we can come back here and start working on that. And that's probably sooner rather than later.
Chris, can I offer something really quick? I work very closely with Lisa Labella, who is the Senior Project Coordinator. And I happen to know that she's looking for an author, a practicing Buddhist, a nurse, and an architect to be a consultant. Consultant means that you would work with a student throughout their senior project. It's just a couple of hours a week, and also just sort of being there to help.
It could be a couple hours throughout the year and then coming to their presentation.
And so if anybody knows anybody who fits any of those things and they were interested in working with a student, well, she has a lot of different needs. These are just some that I tweeted about the other day, so I pulled it up. An author, a practicing Buddhist, a nurse, and an architect. And I know that she was also looking for somebody who's a gynecologist. Those are tricky. But if anybody is interested, I can also put you guys on the mailing list, if that's all right with Glenn and with the club, so that if you all know of anybody and you're interested in participating, we can make sure that you get that information.
And that same teacher is also the sponsor of our service club. And I believe we worked with you guys last year to raise money for shelter boxes.